Hey guys, welcome back to Coaching Coins. My name is Ann. I'm your host as well as the founder of the channel. Really, the reason I started the channel is to help inspire you to reach your potential and talk about finance and career and life in general. So a lot of my videos, as you've seen, is about pharmacy because I'm a pharmacist by day, YouTuber by night, and hiker and traveler all day. And for today, I just really want to talk about Residency Showcase. I know I may have missed the 2018 showcase, but I thought I want to do this just for those that are preparing for the showcase next year. I'll talk about the ASHP mid-year big national showcase as well as local residency showcase and how to navigate those showcases. So with that, I will go ahead and start. And for those that are preparing for application and whatnot, I have several videos in my channel to help you getting through with interviews as well as to even consider residency and things like that. So I hope you find that helpful. Please subscribe to my channel as you go see more additional videos on career, finance, and life. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So let's talk about the big meeting, which is the ASHP Residency Showcase that has pretty much every program in the country attending that showcase, which can be a nut house. So you need a strategic planning before you even attend the ASHP Showcase. And they separate it into several sessions, I think up to 3 sessions based on the programs itself. And you want to prepare in advance because it is overwhelming, and I'm telling you that you have to plan in advance. You really want to research the programs you're interested in the most and start kind of going to the programs that maybe the first program could be the one that you're like, I'm kind of interested but not sure, just so you can get your nerves out. And then once you get your nerves out, you can start going to programs that really interested you and start talking to the residents and getting their insights, business card, as well as giving some face time. I will tell you that they will not remember who you are because the number of candidates they meet, or let me say, they most likely may not remember you, who you are, but it's a good effort to really be there and for them to get to know you, but for you to get to know them as well. Okay, so you want to prepare both general and specific questions, but really think of it like speed dating. You're not going to stay there for 30 minutes because you won't have time for that, and they won't have time to speak with you for 30 minutes. Sometimes you'll be in a big group because they're trying to get as many candidates and interested candidates through as possible. So think of this as speed dating. You want to do your research in advance. I would recommend using Excel. It'll be your BFF when it comes to programs and whatnot, and start researching through required rotations, projects, presentation, teaching certificates, staffing opportunities, what are some benefits, some specialties. If you're interested in PGY2, do they have it? What kind of PGY2? And then just some question that you want to ask them based on your research. And you want to have all that done. I know it sounds scary, but it's doable. You want to have all that done before you even go to the showcase. And then when you go to the mid-year, they'll tell you what programs are at what time and what booth. You want to familiarize yourself with that timetable and also the time that you want. Basically set a schedule for yourself just so you can navigate it effectively instead of jumping from like all the way to Hall B, all the way to Hall Z, So be efficient with your time because most likely you may not have all the time to talk to all the programs and get to know them. So be strategic. And really dress, of course, business, professional attire. I would definitely wear a name tag if you can and you will since you have the ASHP name tag. Wear them, but don't wear them up to here so they can see it. Don't try to have it cover up or wear something that's all the way down here. They have to look down. So make it visible if you can. And if it's your first, if you're P3 or P2 or even P1, try to be respectful of your P4. Can still go, but don't occupy a lot of residence time. Just watch and learn from others, and it'll be your turn next year, P3s. And then in terms of, you can bring CVs if you want to, and they'll take it, or for sure business cards as well. Most importantly, you want to get their business cards. They may have yours, but they may not keep it, or vice versa, but you sure want to get their business cards so you know who you talk to and send like a thank you email afterward. Bring a pen, pens, or take a note somehow on your iPads or whatever. Just have some note-taking utensil, because it's going to be a lot of stuff coming your way. And if all possible, trying to keep your hands free, because you're going to do a lot of handshakes. And have good firm handshake is important to make the connection. People tend to remember you more when there's a handshake compared to no handshake. Fun fact. It may feel really competitive and overwhelming with all these different candidates and different programs. I think the biggest thing is that you have to know which programs you're interested in, and sometimes just have fun with it. Like, go to some program that you just want to see what it's like, and sit back, observe, and listen, because sometimes that's the best thing. And most of the time the residents tend to repeat themselves, because there's so many candidates coming across and asking very similar questions. I would try to not ask what's your typical day, because we get asked that a lot. So I would try to make it more engaging, like, oh, what's the most rewarding thing about the residency program that you like thus far? So keep it short. I would say no more than 10-15 minutes per booth or per person if you can, unless you're really interested in that program, then just spend more time. And then another thing is that if you are you have close interaction with a program already locally and you know them, what I would do is don't skip them totally, but you can save them at the end and just come by and be like, hey, I just want to come by and say hi and thanks, and I don't really have any questions, or just ask them one question. If you already know them, you're planning to go to a local resident showcase, or I would try to, for the mid-year ASHP one, go to the ones that you wouldn't have a chance to talk to face-to-face with some of the out-of-state programs. The local ones that you're planning to go to already, you will meet them at local, but I would just drop by and say, hey, I just want to come by and say hi, hope things are going well, and then just zip out. A minute, 5 minute max in terms of local programs, unless again that's really all you want is locally. If you're only want to do local programs, then I wouldn't say save your money and don't really need to attend ASHP, just because if you know for sure you're going to do local programs and financial is the situation, you don't have to go there because they have local residency showcase as well. If finance is allowed, I would also recommend to do PPS for programs that do. PPS give you a more personal time, like 15, 20, 30 minutes with the residency and residency directors, and it'll be a little bit more formal Q&A as well as interview questions. So it just really gives you another opportunity to have face-to-face. As many opportunities you can do with face-to-face, the better, because the more reinforcement and the more time they'll remember you. And for those that you did interview with for PPS, I would recommend to write like thank you cards and send it to them too, because I think they spend time with you and you spend time with them, so that would be very helpful. If you're just going through the showcase alone, I would say get the email address and send a thank you email. I think that would be more than enough. And again, the showcase is really all about you. You navigate it. I know it can be very overwhelming, especially for those that are not super outgoing or introverted. Bring a friend, bring a buddy, tag along with someone who is more willing to ask questions and you be listening, but really try to ask your own questions too. And be respectful of other candidates. If someone's already there and they're asking questions, just listen in and then you can add or ask question. I know sometimes like, when do I start to interject? You just gotta time it well. It's like a dance. That's what I see it. I feel like ASHP Showcase is a ballroom dance and you gotta do it very, very well. And you take turns and everybody look at each other and make eye contact, and then you may have one-on-one session with the resident, but that's not as frequent because they usually have several people that they're trying to talk to. At least trying to talk to the residency director, at least, even if just saying introduction and your interest, and yeah, keep it personal because that's how they're gonna remember you. And lastly, you really utilize your network. If you know current residents or recent preceptors or someone that know them, not saying that you have to drop names, but that would just be a good point of reference. So they kind of know who you are, and helping, again, face recognition, face-to-face interaction, anything for them to remember your face and who you are and how unique and awesome you are, the better your chance of getting an interview. And lastly, remember who you meet at showcase, because you may run into them outside of the showcase and getting contacts. If you, for some reason, a program didn't participate in PPS and you really want that program, you can actually ask them, like, do you have time for a coffee break just so I can get to know more? And like maybe 15 minutes outside of a showcase. And most of the time, either the residents or the director will say yes. I would more likely go for the residents because they will probably gonna give you that time if they don't participate in PPS. And lastly, I've alluded to this already, but thank you letters. This will help you distinguish yourself from thousands of others, because I can guarantee you that there are 1,000 candidates and not 1,000 candidates will send a thank you card. So if you send the thank you cards, it will even make it more memorable. You don't have to write a whole journal. You can just write briefly in your experience, and if you can mention someone's name or who you talk to, I think that would be very, again, personal and memorable. I hope you find this helpful, and as I said, just really at the end, make sure you take notes of every interaction that you have per booth, because at the end, all the business card kind of jumbled together and you're not sure which program is which and who is what based on the business card. So even jot down some interesting note like, oh, Clark, PJY1, he loves football, or he likes to bake, or just so you can kind of remember who they are as you finish with the showcase and go back home and try to figure out who are these individuals. And again, make it personal. Overall, I hope you find that helpful. These are tips that I've learned when I was a resident, as well when I was a candidate. And if you have other comments or questions or just tips overall, please put your comments down below. And for other cool videos, subscribe to my channel, because I'll be doing several more videos and awesome cool videos that you would be interested in. Hasta luego. Bye.